Additional with Office of Public Defender.
Letitia Fowler with the Office of Public Defender.
Jesus Crespo is medical.
Medical? Okay. Is there a bin, or do we lose the bin? Oh, it's on the floor. Ah. All right, good morning, sir. Can you please tell me your name?
James Allen Hoover Jr.
All right, Mr. Hoover. You're here in case number 2019 CF 13351AO, and you were arrested for possession of MDMA ecstasy. Do you find probable cause? I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and your bond will remain set at $1,000. Mr. Newsome, how you doing today?
Okay.
Okay. All right, can you state your name for the record, sir?
Ma'am,
Can you just tell me your name for the record?
Gary Stevens Newsom.
All right, Mr. Newsome, you were arrested in 19 MO 1623 for camping in a prohibited place. Do you find probable cause? Sorry, can you hear me?
Guilty.
Okay, you want to plea? Okay. I don't have a form for the PD. Let's see if the state has an offer for you.
Adjudication credit for time served.
All right, and you want to accept that offer, Mr. Newsome?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're not here for an open container. That's good.
No.
All right, well, we'll have you sign the plea form. You want to sign the plea form?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. I'll talk louder so you can hear me. I didn't appoint the PD. All right, Mr. Newsome, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You want to plea no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. And I have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by September 23rd, 2020. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. All right, good luck, Mr. Newsome.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Nathan Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith, you're here in 2019 MO 1627. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause, and I don't have a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer to resolve your case today?
A withhold credit for time served.
All right, so they're offering you a withhold, and you get credit for the 2 days. And so it's not a formal conviction.
Okay,
You want to accept that?
yeah,
Okay, and you want to do that without an attorney?
yeah.
Okay. Have you sign the plea form? Thank you. All right, sir, do you want to plead guilty or no contest?
I guess so,
Huh?
yeah,
No contest?
yeah,
Okay. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
yes,
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah,
Are you on probation anywhere?
I am.
Okay. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay,
Is that a yes?
yes,
All right. Do you find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file? I'm going to withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by September 23rd, 2020. That gives you a year, okay? If you'd like to appeal the judgment sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right? Good luck to you. All right. Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Derek, last name Marslock, middle name Luke.
Okay. Do we know what happened to Christopher Brown?
He's out in the
Mental health? Okay, we'll reset. Do you think Chris Brown would, can he be screened for mental health pretrial release? Okay, can we see if he can be screened? Okay, thank you. Huh? Yeah, I'm resetting it. I just want to see if it usually takes a couple days, so. All right, Mr. Marslock? Okay. You're here in 2019 MM 7819AO, and you're arrested for trespass in an occupied structure. And I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I don't know if the state will have an offer for you.
Adjudication credit for time served, no return.
Offer,
Okay.
enter a plea of no contest.
All right.
Right here.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Marslock, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to the 7-Eleven at 8269 Clarkona Ocoee Road. You must abide by all trespass warnings. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by September 23rd, 2020. If you'd like to appeal the judgment sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you, sir. All right, good luck to you. All right. Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Roberto Perez.
Okay,
Bettencourt.
Mr. Perez Bentecourt, you're here in 2019 MM 7813AO, and you're charged with trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause, and I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Perez Bentecourt?
Yes, Your Honor. No return, adjudication of guilt, and credit time served. Your Honor, he would like to accept the offer, enter a plea of no contest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, sir, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes.
All right. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to 10537 East Colonial Drive, all right? You've been trespassed from there. You gotta make sure that you abide by the trespass warning. If you go back, probably get arrested, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And so, I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by September 23rd, 2020, all right? If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck.
Your Honor, Kimberly Smith was refusal.
All right, so Ms. Smith refused to come to court today. In 2019, MM 7821AO, I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent her. Do either one of you wanna formally waive her appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and so, she's charged with resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause, and I did appoint the public defender, and her bond will remain set at the 500.
Jacqueline Cook, Downtown Court.
Okay, we'll reset. All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Brenda Cross.
All right, Ms. Cross, you're here in 2019 CF 6820AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for pretrial conference on August 21st, 2019. The judge forfeited your bond, set your bond at none on all 5 counts. And does she have the PD? Yes. You do have the public defender, and they can file any motions in Division 22 with regards to bond, okay?
Your Honor, Eric Figueres is a refusal.
Right. Mr. Figueres refused to come to court today in 2019 CF 12704. And I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. Do y'all wanna formally waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and he's charged pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for possession of fentanyl and possession of drug paraphernalia. He's not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and the bonds will stay at 2,500 and 100. right, ma'am, good morning. Please tell me your name.
Good morning, Shannon Hutchins.
All right, Ms. Hutchins, you're here in 2019 CF 12858. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for grand theft third degree and dealing in stolen property. And I don't have a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring an attorney, or have you spoken
I
with
can't
him?
afford an attorney.
Okay, did you get a form for the public defender?
No, I bonded out and then they brought me back up here.
Your Honor, she has 2 open cases. She had posted bond, but they discovered them during that process.
Oh, okay, I don't have any of that information in front of me. Okay.
The open case numbers.
2018 CF 14744AO, it's a VOP on a grand theft. And then 2019 CF 330AO, fraudulent use of personal ID, fraudulent use of a credit card, exploitation of elderly or disabled adult, and petty theft. And
All right, and the 19 CF 330AO, that case has a pretrial conference on tomorrow, 9/24. Trial period beginning 10/7. And the VOP, I don't have any dates in our system. It says the arraignment was 9/19. I'm sorry, she has a hearing 10/1, a VOP status in Judge LeBlanc's division on 10/1 with a VOP hearing set for 11/12.
okay, so it looks like the 330, the state filed information only on fraudulent use of personal identification information of a person 60 or older, not all the other offenses. And that was alleged to have occurred on or about December 23rd, 2018. And I'm gonna revoke the bond in that case, 2019 CF 330AO. I don't know what's going on necessarily with the VOP. My guess is it may be an amended VOP based on this, but she's obviously had a bond.
10/1 is the next court date on that one.
Trying to figure out. Did she have a bond in the VOP? I can't. There was an amended VOP filed on September 18th, 2019. Trying to see what happened with that.
5,000.
5,000? All right, I'm gonna revoke that. 2018 CF 14744AO. And so I'm sure you'll be seeing, looks like on 10/1 by Judge LeBlanc. It's just in a couple days. You'll be seen by Judge LeBlanc for a VOP status hearing. You do have, I believe, the public defender in both of
Yes,
those cases, and they
she
can
does.
file any appropriate motions for you. I'm not gonna do anything, if you've already bonded out, the bonds will stay set.
We didn't process those.
Okay, I'm just gonna stay the bonds at the 2,500 on each count. No contact with any victims or witnesses, no return to the location of where the offense occurred. No return to any pawn shop or any secondhand dealer. So you can't go back to 701 Greenwood Street, okay? And I'll appoint the PD in that case as well, even though I don't have a form, but she has the PD in the other cases. Thank you. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Dylan Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're here in 2019 CF 13395AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia. Do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. You may not possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. The bond will stay set at 1,000 and 100, and it looks like you have a hold for Polk County.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Isaiah Murray.
All right, Mr. Murray, you're here in 2019 CF 13409AO. You're arrested for lewd or lascivious exhibition by a person for the age of 18, exposure of sexual organs, and exposure of sexual organs. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 will be $3,000. Your bond on counts 2 and 3 are $1,000. You're not to return back to the Villanova condominium community area or anywhere at that location. No contact with any victims or witnesses. No unsupervised contact with any minor children under the age of 18.
Sorry, what was count 1, Your Honor?
3,000?
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Miles Pennant.
All right, Mr. Pennant, you're here in 2019 CF 13410AO, and you're arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, possession of cannabis more than 20 grams, possession of Xanax, possession of oxycodone, alteration or removal of a firearm serial number, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And I do find probable cause for all of those offenses. I don't have a form for the public defender. Are you planning on hiring your own attorney?
I have an attorney, Spencer Rhodes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, you have him on the other cases. Have you spoken to him about this case yet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So I won't appoint the public defender's office at this time. Your bond on count 1 will be $30,000, $150 on counts 2 and 3 and 4. Count 5 will be 2,500, count 6, 2,500, and count 7, 150, and count 8 and 9 are at 100. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no contact with any victim, witness, or any co-defendant. And your bond in 2019 CF 1800DO, it looks like you're trying to get into pretrial diversion. I'm revoking that release and setting that at none. And in 2019 CF 6992AO, I'm revoking that release and setting that at none. And you do have Mr. Rhodes, I think in both of those cases. Do you want me to appoint the PD in the new law and then you can work it out with Mr. Rhodes, or are you sure you're gonna have him?
I'm gonna have him, but I have a question. Could you? what
You gotta
were the-
speak up. I
I'm
can't
sorry,
hear you.
what were those other two again? Like you said you were revoking.
I revoked
la-
the release and the cases that you're out on release on.
So you revoked the release on on those cases, not this.
This one you have a bond, 30,000 on count 1 and
Am I allowed to write that?
a bunch of other bonds. Oh, okay, I don't have that. Oh, I do. It's mixed in there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm revoking the bond, the release on all 3 cases. So there's 19 CF 5642, 19 CF 6992, and 19 CF 8100DO. So you have Spencer Rhodes in all those cases? Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
it's up to you. I can appoint the PD if you want, or you can, I just don't want you sitting in there.
You're revoking this bond?
No,
I'm
No.
sorry.
You have bonds in the new case. You do not have bonds in the other cases. So Mr. Rhodes will have to file motions for you with those divisions to see if those judges will give you bond, okay? But you don't have an attorney on the new law unless, because Mr. Rhodes, I don't believe has filed a notice of appearance yet, so. But as long as you're comfortable and that you've talked with him, then I don't need to appoint anybody for you,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
okay? All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Lisa J. Rivera.
All right, Ms. Rivera, you're here in 2019 CF 13403AO. You're arrested for unlawful possession of a stolen credit card or debit card, petty theft, and possession of a stolen or counterfeit credit card. And I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to, the scene of the offense. I don't know specifically where that is. Does anyone know where on the internet, I don't know if these are the outlets? Don't talk about the facts of the case. Ms. Kenny Swanson, do you know if these are the outlets? I don't have a victim sheet, so I'm not
The
sure.
victim has the victim's personal address.
Yeah, I don't,
It
okay.
has a residential address and it has the business address. I can look
Yeah,
up what
looks
the-
like she was detained at 6515 International Drive, Avanti, but the theft occurred at a different location. But I'm guessing this is the, it's either the,
I'm gonna Google the address.
you can't go back to the scene of the offense or anywhere in that International Drive, that
I think
six.
it's a Avanti Palms Resort and Conference Center.
Okay, so you can't go back there, that 6515 International Drive, or where the location of the offense occurred. No contact with any victims or witnesses. And the bond will stay set at 1,000 on count 1, 250 on count 2, and I'll reduce count 3 to 150. You're out on release in 2018 CF 14432AO. I'm revoking that and setting that at none. Does she have the PD in that case, I believe? All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Smith refused to come to court, 2019 CF 505780. Does she have the PD? Yes, okay, she has the PD previously appointed. She failed to appear for her trial management conference on September 12, 2019. The judge revoked her release in that case. Mr. Scholl, you already represent her. Do you want to waive her appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, she has no bond. In 2019 MM 426AA, she has the PD, and, no? All right, she, looks like she pled. She pled on July 26th.
So this case, Your Honor, we have KPS from 9/12 trial management.
2019 MM 426AA.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, she pled to the misdemeanor. So she should, yeah, so that was, they just never. Yeah, so I'll take no action. I'll ROR her on the misdemeanor 19 MM 426AA. She's already resolved that case. Mr. Scholl, so you know, she does have a hold out of Lake County. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name is Kadeem Von Wright.
All right, Mr. Wright, you're here in 2019. CF 13405AO, you're arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. No contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. And the bond will stay set at 1,000 and 100. I'm revoking the bond in 2019 CF 11104AO. Or the release, excuse me, and your attorneys can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond in that case. All right. So you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Did you just, I got R&R. They never did file one case and take any.
Okay, I don't,
Never mind.
it doesn't matter to me whether the state's filed charges or not.
No,
So,
I just want to know what the revoke mean.
means that you no longer have any bond in the case. You're gonna be held on that case. So your attorneys, you have an attorney in that case. They can file a motion to set bond with the judge who has that case.
So I'm at the bond on both these cases now, right?
You have a bond on the new law. You do not have a bond on the out on bond or out on release case. Okay? If you have any questions, you can call the number that
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
Thank
Scholl
you.
gave you,
Thank
okay?
you, Miss. Thank you, Honorable Witch.
All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Maria Galarza.
All right, Ms. Galarza, you're here in 2019 MO 1621. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Was there an offer for Ms. Galarza if she wanted to resolve her case?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer was adjudication of guilt, credit time served. She'd like to accept the offer,
Okay.
enter a plea of no contest.
right, Ms. Galarza, you want to plead no contest? So I think Ms. Fowler said that. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form? You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea? Are you on probation anywhere? You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Do you find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea? I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Do you have to impose court costs? I'm going to order you pay those by September 23rd, 2020, okay? If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck, ma'am. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Brett Houseman.
All right, Mr. Houseman, you're here in 2019 MO 1622. You're arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you?
The public defender came into the cells where we were at and said they'd give me time served if I plead no contest.
Okay, well, I don't have a form, so I can't appoint them to represent you. So do you want to take that time served offer?
Yes, I will, Your Honor.
Okay, is that what the offer is, Ms. Fowler?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. An adjudication?
Yes.
Okay. And then I do have to impose court costs, but I'll give you a year to pay those off, Mr. Houseman, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Houseman, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
I can't see that far, but I guess I believe it is.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes, please.
All right, did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
You said you was gonna give me a fine and a year to pay it.
Okay, but that's not in the plea form, but did you understand everything else that was in the plea form?
I read as much of it as I possibly could, but my memory is not that very good. But I read it a couple times and
Okay, when you read it, did you have any questions or did you not understand anything that you read?
I understood it. And when the public defender, that person mentioned, he walked in the door and said that whatever y'all's discussions were about the
I don't
case-
talk to anybody before the
Oh,
court.
okay,
So
that's-
did you understand everything that you read
I
when you were
understood what I
reading
read,
it?
yes.
Okay, so those talk about the rights that you're giving up when you enter a plea. There won't be a trial, you won't be cross-examining any of the state's witnesses to prove the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. You won't be able to put on any defense or any witnesses, so those are the types of things that you're giving up.
And I'm giving up by going no contest, Your Honor.
Okay, so are you on probation, sir?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea? I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I'm gonna order that you pay your court costs by September 23rd, 2020, okay? If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Okay, good luck. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Thomas O'Hare.
All right, Mr. O'Hare, you're here in 2019 MO 1624. You're arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. And I don't have a form for the public defender. Did you want to see if the offer from the state was something that you wanted to take today?
I don't understand.
Do you want to resolve your case?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
I'll just plead no contest.
okay. I'm guessing that they're all credit for time served offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, so you want to do that without an attorney, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll have you fill out the plea form. Thank you. All All right, Mr. O'Hare, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by September 23rd, 2020, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you'd like to appeal the judgment sent to the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you, Mr. O'Hare.
Okay, thank you.
All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Eve Marie Ann Quagmire.
All right, you're here in 2019 MO 1625. You're arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, release on your own recognizance or withhold credit time served.
Well, the ROR, that's not an offer, and
Would you like to accept the offer of withhold of adjudication, credit time served, enter a plea of no contest?
thank you. All right, ma'am, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I'm gonna withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I'm gonna order that you pay your court costs by September 23rd, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment sent to the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
luck. All right, good morning, sir. Please tell me your name. Hey, Mr. Rooks?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Rooks, you're here in 2019 MO 1626. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. Did you find probable cause? I don't have a form for the PD. Do you want to see if there's an offer from the state? Unless you already know of the offer and you want to accept the offer. Okay. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay.
Cold one day.
Is it a credit for time served offer? Okay. All right, Mr. Brooks, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I feel like this is one of those commercials.
Cell phone commercials.
Verizon. Can you hear me now, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. You were arrested for camping. I did find probable cause. I did not appoint the PD. The state's offer is a credit for time served offer. Do you want to accept that?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have you sign the plea form, and I'll give you a year to pay your court costs off.
I'm cold, man. Phew. I can't do nothing cold.
All right, Mr. Rooks, you want to plead no contest?
I can't hear.
You want to plead no contest? Can you hear me?
I think I can hear you better with the off.
Okay, I'll just talk real loud. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by September 23rd, 2020. Okay, it's a year. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right, good luck.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me now? All right, good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Derek Solomon.
All right, Mr. Solomon, you're here in 2019, MO 1628. You're arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I don't have a form for the PD. Have offers been extended? Is it a credit for time served offer? Okay. Do you want to accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Solomon, I'll have you fill out a plea form. Ooh. I'm having a... All right, do you want to plead no contest, Mr. Solomon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, it is.
Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. And I'll impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by September 23rd, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck, Mr. Solomon.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, they have a 2-minute break.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be in recess for 2 minutes. All right, we're back on the record. And all right, good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Lloyd Stevens.
All right, Mr. Stevens. You're here in 2019, MO 1629. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the PD. Was there an offer for Mr. Stevens?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, credit time served.
Okay,
He'd like to accept the offer, enter a plea of no contest.
thank you.
I didn't mean.
That refused, so we did the IA without her, but Kimberly Smith is actually, Victoria Smith is the one that's not. But she's somewhere else on the list, right? Okay. We'll get her name removed. Okay. I did appoint the PD in the case. Kimberly Smith, they had told me she was refusing, so we did the IA, but she's apparently here. It's Victoria Smith that did not, that refused, but I don't know where she is on the list. Thanks. Oh, you're fine. She must be, I don't even see her. Is Victoria Smith somewhere else?
Victoria Smith is the one that refused.
Right, but I don't have her in my stack.
Did she remove her?
We already did it.
Yeah, Victoria Smith was on the felony docket.
You want her back?
No, did we do her already?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The failure to appear said she refused.
No, okay. I'm so confused.
What do you want?
Right, but she
Victoria?
refused.
Yes.
What do you want me to pull out?
Yeah,
Kimberly Smith.
okay.
Oh, you don't want Victoria?
No, we need Kimberly Smith. She was here, but she was on the move up and she had.
Okay, so you want Kimberly?
Okay.
Okay, we want Kimberly.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Stevens, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I'm gonna order that you pay your court costs by September 23rd, 2020, okay? If you'd
Yes,
like to
ma'am.
appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Kobe Burton.
All right, Mr. Burton, you're here in 2019 MM 781780, and you were arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I don't have a form for the PD. Do you want, I don't know if the state has an offer.
There is no offer, Mr. Burton's
Okay.
case, Your Honor.
I'm gonna put you in PTR, all right, sir? So you need to make sure that you follow all of those requirements. Don't, make sure that the clerk's office has your correct address because you don't have an attorney on the case.
Yes.
Okay? All right?
All right.
I know what's going on. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Francis Fallon.
All right, Mr. Fallon, you're here in 2019 MM 7805. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Fallon?
Yes, Your Honor, no return, adjudication of guilt, credit time served. Your Honor, he would like to accept the offer, enter a plea of no contest. April 3.
All right, Mr. Fallon, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes,
Okay, did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
yes,
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
yes,
Is that a yes?
yes.
Okay, are you on probation anywhere?
No,
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Do you understand?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea, and I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You've been trespassed from the Lake Eola Park at 101 North Roslyn Avenue, so you can't go back there, okay? And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by September 23rd, 2020. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Sean Gaines Jr.
All right, Mr. Gaines. You're here in 2019 MM 7812AO, and you're arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I don't know if the state will have an offer for you.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're not to return back to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street or have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And the bond will stay set at $250. You're out on bond in a bunch of cases. So we've got 2019 CF 9992AO, and that's for grand theft and trespass. 2019 CT 464AE and 2019 CT 465AE. I'm revoking those and setting those at none. It looks like you do have an attorney in the case, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you.
Do we have, PDs and CT cases?
He doesn't?
No.
Okay,
They
I'll
have
appoint,
girls.
why do they write why do they write that there's an attorney on them?
Oh, I don't know.
Hey,
There's, I saw one with
you're on?
girls when I looked earlier. We can try.
Hey, is there any kind of way that you like could like leave two of them on?
I'll appoint Katie on those cases, if there's nobody on them. All right, Mr. Gaines, you can call the phone number that they give you, but your attorneys are gonna have to file motions to set bond in those cases. You're-
I rent a room out at a house, and my 3-year-old daughter is with my roommate, who are males, you know, and I was just me being in here, like I'm not gonna be able to.
Okay, well, you know, what happens when you're out on release for offenses and then you're alleged to have committed a new law offense, unfortunately, I don't know the situation for you back at your house, but, it's not good when that happens. So I don't know what to tell you other than you're gonna have to contact somebody to take care of your daughter. But you do have an attorney so that they can help you facilitate any communication that you need with anybody on the outside. Okay? All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Willie Hill.
All right, Mr. Hill, you're here in 2019 MM 7809AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the PD. Was there an offer for Mr. Hill?
Yes, Your Honor, no return, adjudication of guilt, credit time served.
Yeah.
Your Honor, he would like to accept the offer, enter a plea of no contest.
Yeah, I accept that.
think that came back that hand. Mr. King. Mr. King. Okay.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Hill, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that a yes? Gonna say yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
I can, yes.
Okay, all right. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to the 455 North Garland Avenue, that Lynx bus station, okay? They've trespassed you, all right?
Okay.
You gotta abide by the trespass warnings. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by September 23rd, 2020.
Right.
If you want to appeal the judgment sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Sierra Man.
All right, Ms. Mack, you're here in 2019 MM 7807. You were arrested for loitering or prowling. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Does the state have an offer?
No offer, Ms. Mack.
Okay. I'm gonna order that you're not to return back to the 133 West Church Street or have any contact with any listed victim or witness at that location. Or I don't know if it's the 106. Don't go back to the scene of where you were arrested, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stay the bond at the 500. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on release case. Looks like you do have a court date coming up. Are you aware of that?
Another court.
Huh?
You said another court date?
Yeah, you have a court date coming up.
I don't know what fuck y'all are.
Have you spoken with your attorney in that case?
Huh? No, I don't wanna go to no court for no reason, no
Okay.
reason.
Well, you have a court date coming up on the 27th of this month, so in a couple days,
Alright,
at the downtown courthouse. Don't miss that court date, okay?
alright.
Do you know who your attorney is?
I don't have one yet.
I think you
They didn't
do.
give me an attorney.
Brian Wynn,
Hmm.
okay? Brian Wynn,
Alright.
okay? Don't miss your court date, all right? All right, please tell me your name.
Antoine Neal.
All right, Mr. Neal, you're here in 2019 MM 7802AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Neal if you wanted to resolve his case?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is no return, adjudication of guilt, credit time served.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The offer, enter a plea of no contest.
All All right, Mr. Neal, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea to both accounts. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to the 7-Eleven at 7309 South Orange Blossom Trail. They've trespassed you. You can't go back there. If you go back, probably get arrested, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and each of those counts will run concurrent. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by September 23rd, 2020. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name.
Tremaine Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you're here in 2019 MM 7808 AO. You're arrested for loitering or prowling. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. I don't believe the state has an offer. I don't know. They
No,
do-
you're not.
Okay. So, I'm gonna order that you're not to return back to the scene of where the offense, where you were arrested, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm gonna stay the bond at the $500. All right, please tell me your name.
This is Ms. Smith.
This is Ms. Smith, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. All right, Miss, can you tell me your name, ma'am? Can you tell me your name?
Kimberly.
Is your last name Smith?
Yeah.
Okay. You're here in 2019 MM 7821 AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. And I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, okay? Ms. Feller, have you had a second to talk to her in the back at all? Did Mr. Scholler, you talk to her?
I spoke with the ladies in the back.
Okay, was there an offer?
There was no offer.
Okay.
There is no offer, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna stay the bond at the $500. But I did appoint the public defender, okay?
Get to make it the Rock. It's a program,
I'm sorry?
a coalition program. That's what they could do.
I can't put you in a
There's a-
program, ma'am.
This one right here. So,
Well, can we screen her for
you
mental
can't
health
do
pretrial
that.
release? Okay, we'll do that. It'll be bond or mental health pretrial release if qualifies. We'll see if we can get you in a program, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right, please tell me your name, sir. Sir? Good morning. Please
Jake
tell me your
Smoot.
name. Okay.
Jake
Mr. Smoot, you're here in 2 cases. You're here in 2019 MM 7810 AO. You're arrested for criminal mischief. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender, and in 2019 MM 7806 AO, you're arrested for petty theft. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the PD in that case. Well, does the state have any offers?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and so there is a bond correction for the criminal mischief. It is 500. So you're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to return back to Publix at 400 East Central Boulevard, and you must abide by any trespass warnings. And the bond will stay set at the 500 on the criminal mischief and the 500 on the petty theft.
Oh, but I can get some work today.
All right, Mr. Smoot, if you have any questions, you call the number that they gave you on the form. All right, please tell me your name.
James Hunter Sneed.
All right, Mr. Sneed, you're here in 2019 MM 7801AO. You're arrested for loitering or prowling. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the PD. I don't know if the state has an offer. Okay, so you're not to return back to where you were arrested. You can't go back to that 4452 Winter Oaks Lane. Or have any contact with any witnesses in the case. And the bond will stay set at $250. And I won't take any action. It looks like there's some competency issues in the other cases. So I'll take no action on the out on release cases. Just make sure you don't miss any court dates, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Bobby Vincent, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vinson, you're here in 2019 MM 7799AO. You're arrested for trespass in structure or conveyance and resisting an officer without violence. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Was there an offer?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So you're not to return back to 25 Wall Street, okay? You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness, and you're to abide by any trespass warnings. The bonds will stay set at $500 on count 1. I'll reduce count 2 to $100, and I'm not gonna take any action on your out on release cases. Don't miss any court dates, okay, that you may have coming up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Vinson?
Thank you.
Hi. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Maurice DeChristopher Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're here, 2019 CF 12953AO, and you want the PD? You want the public defender to be appointed to represent you?
Oh, no, ma'am, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
gonna represent myself.
Okay, we keep getting these requests from the public defender's office, and then they keep coming in and telling me that they don't want the public defender.
And I spoke to him behind, and he does not want a public defender. I spent
Okay.
some time speaking to him.
Okay, so I'm not gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent him. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Sharon Ballard. She refused? Okay. 2019 CF 13380AO. Ms. Ballard was arrested for tampering with physical evidence, possession of fentanyl, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent her. Mr. Scholl or Ms. Fowler, anybody wanna waive her appearance
Yes, Your Honor.
formally? I do find probable cause for those offenses. She's not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Her bond on count 1 will be $150. Her bond on count 2 will remain at $1,000, and the bond on count 3 will be set at $100. Mr. John Carney? Okay, yeah. So, Mr. Carney, I have 2 cases, is that correct? Okay, so I have the out-of-county warrant and then the 19 CF 13218AO.
The out of county is that case. It was incorrectly accepted as out of county. It's actually on there. So we need to address that on time. It's been confirmed.
Okay. Okay, so it's not an out-of-county, okay. All right, so in 2019, my paper, 2019 CF 13218AO, Mr. Carney refused to come to court. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent him. He's refused multiple times to come to court. Do you wanna waive his
Yes, Your
appearance
Honor.
formally? Mr. Scholl, thank you. And he was arrested pursuant to a warrant, which probable cause was found for grand theft and grand theft of a motor vehicle. And he's not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness, no weapons or firearms, no illegal substances without a valid prescription. And he's not to return back to any pawn shop. And he's also not to return back to 4902 South Orange Avenue, a cut above the rest landscaping. And his bonds will remain set as in the warrant at 1,000 and 5,000. All right, and then we have Trent Pankey. All right. Mr. Pankey's refused to come to court. I think he refused yesterday too. Yes. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent him. And Mr. Scholl, do you wanna formally waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and he was arrested pursuant to a warrant for attempted first-degree murder with a firearm and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. Ms. Kennedy Swanson, did you want to be heard as to bond on count 1?
At the moment, I don't have the paperwork for him. The weekend attorney must have taken it downtown. Your Honor, based on, I'm sorry.
I'm listening,
Okay,
sorry.
based on the four corners of the affidavit by OPD Officer Anne Marie Essen, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond based on proof evident presumption great. It looks like the victim was shot several times sitting in a lawn chair outside of the store. There were witnesses who identified had a partial tag of a white colored four-door sedan approaching the area. Based on the witnesses, they believe the suspect lived off of a street, Lescott Lane, went by the nickname of Hefe. While doing investigative techniques, the officer went to the defendant's home. The defendant's father, it looks like, said the defendant came home between 8 and 9. He had blood on his forehead. He had said he had been jumped by a number of individuals. There was video footage of the incident that took place. Based on that video footage, they identified Mr. Pankey, the defendant, as the alleged defendant who fired the shots. Based on that, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond based on proof evident presumption greatness. Thank you to the PD's office for letting me see the copy.
All right, Mr. Scholl, any argument?
No, Your Honor, defer to the bench in this matter.
Okay, I do find proof evident presumption great based on the affidavit and the warrant. And so I am gonna hold Mr. Pankey at no bond on count 1. And his bond will remain set at $3,500 on count 2. His conditions of release are as follows. He's not to return back to the community corner market at 4100 Booker Street no illegal substances without a valid prescription, no contact with any victims or witnesses, no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition.
Your Honor, did you appoint him as a public defender?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
And then you waived his appearance.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. All right, I have a couple 33-day motions from, one from Mr. Verrett in 2019 CF 11506AO, Lewis Kenneth Jones.
That should be granted the state filed notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
All right, that will be granted. And from Everett Williams, 2019 CF 11670AO, Rafael Alberto Castillo Lorenz.
That should be granted the state filed notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
All right, that will be granted. Okay, and then are you all ready on the 33 days?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have 2019 MM 6946AO, Jeremy Matthew Neely.
That should be denied the state filed information and request a transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 9/19.
That'll be denied. (2019) CF 11923AO, Samantha Snyder.
That should be granted the state filed notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 11852AO, Gerald Mano.
That should be denied the state filed information and request a transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 9/20.
All right, that will be denied. 2019 CF 10000AO, Marcus Maurice Thomas. Looks like the bond was revoked on August 21st. I don't know if an information was filed.
Most times we file a notice of non-filing.
Okay, the bond was revoked on August 21st, 2019. The proper motion to file is a motion to set bond. That will be denied. 2019 MM 6990AO, Francois Seraphine. This was the one that she had previously filed early. I think it's now timely.
The state filed notice of non-filing. Your Honor.
Okay.
Should be granted.
So that will be granted. There was a bond motion filed again in her case after we had gone over it. So that was set for tomorrow, so I think we're canceling that. Just letting y'all know. Somebody
Yes.
filed another bond motion. So hers will be granted. 2019 MM 6943AO, Francesca Jean Berry.
That should be granted the state filed notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 4604AO Mario Merced. Get
That should be
info.
denied. The state filed information on 9/20.
That will be denied. (2019) MM 7010AO Russell Paul Ullum. I think this is the 32nd day, but
They filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day can be granted, Your Honor.
that will be granted.
Good afternoon, Madam Clerk. Dalia Romero Spanish is on the line. Yes, Your Honor. Dalia Romero, State Certified Spanish Interpreter, already sworn in.
All right, we are on the record. It is September 23rd, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 2. Can I have the parties announce themselves for the record, please?
Kathy Kennedy Swans on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Adam Shaw with Office of Public Defender.
Letitia Fowler with the Office of Public Defender.
Dalia Romero, State Certified Spanish Interpreter.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you please tell me your name?
Jesus Bolaño Rodriguez.
Jesus Bolaño Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, or Bolaños Rodriguez, you're here in case number 2019 CF 13406AO. You were arrested for failing to stop or remain at a crash involving death, failing to stop or remain at a crash involving serious bodily injury, and operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I do find probable cause. Do you make $500 a week after taxes on your paycheck?
Sí.
Yes.
What, okay, so what is your paycheck amount exactly every week?
600 o 700.
600 or 700.
Okay. And do you have any children under the age of 18?
En México, aquí no.
In Mexico, but not here.
Okay. And how many children do you have?
Tengo dos niños y una niña, tres.
I have 2 boys and a girl, 3.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, okay? And your conditions of release are as follows. You're not to have any contact with any victim, any witness, or any of the victim's family members. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you may not drive without a valid license. Your bond on count 1 is $10,000. Your bond on count 2 is going to be $2,500, and your bond on count 3 will be $100.
In Your Honor, he does have an immigration hold.
Okay. All right. I didn't see that. It's not on the face sheet, but you do have an immigration hold, sir, and I have to advise you of that, okay? You need to speak with your attorneys about that.
Gracias.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you please tell me your name?
José Gavino Cruz Pascas.
Jose Gavino Cruz Pascas.
All right, sir, you're here in 2 cases. 2007 CT 2936 AW.
I'm
and-
sorry, Your Honor, the interpreter could not hear you.
I'm sorry, 2007 CT 2936 AW. Could you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And in that case, the Office of the Public Defender was previously appointed to represent you, and you were charged with driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. And in 2007 CT 2468 AW, the Office of the Public Defender was previously appointed to represent you, and you were also charged with driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. And so, Ms. Fowler, how does your client wish to proceed?
He would like to enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure for the record, was conveyed the offers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, pretrial date for case number ending in 2468 will be Division 84, will be October 31st at 8:45 in courtroom 4B. And 2936, Division 83. Pretrial date would be October 21st at 8 o'clock in courtroom 6B.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you please tell me your name?
Luz Rodriguez.
Luz Rodriguez.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, you're here in case number 2019 MM7800AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And I am gonna order that you have no contact directly or indirectly. Oh, we have a witness here. All right. Sir, do you need the services of the interpreter?
No.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Andre Anthony Rivera.
All right, Mr. Rivera, can you tell me how you know Miss Rodriguez?
It's my girlfriend.
Okay, and are you scared of her?
No.
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
Do Do you think drugs or alcohol or any medication had anything to do with what happened?
She was drinking that night.
And if anything like this were to happen in the future, would you feel comfortable calling law enforcement?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Kennedy Swanson, did you have any other questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Fowler? Oh,
No. I had a question for PTR.
okay.
Did he is the reason she didn't qualify because there was no other alternative address?
She indicated that she was only going to stay here until her case is resolved.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, what?
She indicated that she would only be staying in town until her case is resolved, so she'll be moving out
Okay.
of state, I presume.
All right. All right, is there anything else that you want to tell me, sir?
No.
No? Okay, all right, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Based on the facts of the case, I am not gonna allow contact. I'm still gonna order no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I'll have you sign the no contact order form. All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Rodriguez, did you understand everything that was contained in the no contact order form that you signed?
No.
Okay, what don't you understand?
No, o sea, me estás preguntando que si lo leí o no lo leí, entonces... o
You're
sea, me
asking
dijeron
me if
que
I
me
read it?
firmé.
I'm
Or
asking.
not? I just signed it.
Okay, you need to read it and make sure that you know what you signed. So I'll have you read a copy of it. If you have any questions about it, you can ask Ms. Fowler.
Or she copy in her paperwork?
Yeah, they don't give them copies back there?
Sure, she got my phone.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, did you understand everything that was contained in the no contact order form?
Sí. Sí. Yes.
All right. And I'm also ordering that you maintain separate residences. You may return with law enforcement to get any personal belongings that you may need. If you need to go back there, you must contact them ahead of time. You may not go over there by yourself. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And you're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. Your bond is set at $1,000. Thank you. Okay. I think that's it for Spanish. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Mayor. Have a good afternoon.
You too. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Christopher Aaron Alizé.
All right, Mr. Alizé, you're here in 2019 CF 13416AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, and attempted tampering with evidence. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. The bond will stay set at $15,000 on count 1, $150 on counts 2 and 3. You're out on bond in 2 cases. 2019 CF 12525, is that correct? Yes. And 2019 MM 7324 AO, and I'm gonna revoke the bonds and set the bonds at none. Does he have any attorneys in those cases? I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you in those cases as well, and they can file any motions for bond in those cases. All right, thank you, sir. All right, sir, any questions that you have, you call the number on that form.
Ma'am, can I ask you a question? Because I know they don't let me talk. Like, I just wanted to just say something. Because my bondsman, Ms. Waylene, she, you know, I know y'all don't speak about facts, and I'm not speaking about
I wouldn't
facts.
talk about the facts if I were you.
I'm not speaking about any facts. It's just, I work at a temp agency every day, and it's just a circumstance where I was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay, well, you've got
And-
2 cases where you're out on bond
Yeah,
in.
yes, ma'am, and I wasn't out there messing up. I literally A-staffing, and I literally pay, I
Okay,
take
you
care of my.
start talking about the facts of your
Okay,
case now.
No, I take care of my 2 kids, my 2-year-old, my
Well,
4-year-old.
you have the public defender now, and they can file motions for bond in those
Yeah,
cases.
I was just trying to see.
Sir,
if
that's
you
my
would
decision, so you're
revoke
gonna
my
have
bond.
to, I revoke the bonds, that's done, already happened, okay?
Stephen French Hospital.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. French. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Jeffrey Hartsfield.
All right, Mr. Hartsfield, you're here 2019 CF 13414AO. You're arrested for attempted first-degree murder with a firearm. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Ms. Kenny Swanson, did you want to be heard as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor, the defense should be held at no bond based on proof evidence presumption grade. Looking at the 4 corners of the affidavit by Jamal Morse, it looks like the victim went upstairs in the apartment complex because the defendant was making too much noise when he was trying to put his child to sleep. Some argument broke out through the door. The victim heard gunshots come through the door that traveled past his chest area. The victim went downstairs with his wife and called 911. Law enforcement responded, was able to speak to the defendant, and the defendant stated that they had had altercation. The victim and the defendant had altercations previously. He told the victim to not bring that to his front door. He got fed up and he reacted by grabbing his firearm, and it looks like he shot. He said he just lost it. Based on that, Your Honor, we believe the defendant should be held at no bonds, no contact with the victim or any witnesses, no weapons, no firearms.
Mr.
Defer to the court in this matter, Your Honor.
All right, based on the affidavit as well as the statement, you damn right I tried to hit him. I think that goes to proof evident presumption great as to the attempted first-degree murder. And I am gonna hold Mr. Hartsfield no bond in the case. No weapons, no firearms, no ammunition. You may not return to the victim's apartment. You may not have any contact with the victim or any witnesses. You may not possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Your Honor, just one moment with our client,
Sure.
please. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Jonathan Jackson, ma'am.
Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2018 CF 8777AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of probation, and the judge in that case did set your bond at none. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You should be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days, could be a little bit sooner, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Devin Willingham.
All right, what is it again?
Devin Willingham.
Okay, do we know what happened to Wendell LaFontaine? Bonded? Okay. Take no action on him. Then I have another. Okay, Miranda bonded, correct?
Gail Nunez bonded.
Okay, but Miranda bonded too?
1902-7966.
Okay, and Mr. Nunez bonded. All right, and you're Mr. Willingham, correct? Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, Mr. Willingham, you're here in 2019 CF 13418AO. You're arrested for fleeing and eluding or a law enforcement officer with licensed sirens activated, resisting an officer without violence, and attaching a tag to a plate not assigned to a vehicle. And I do find probable cause. You get paid $800 a week after taxes?
Ma'am?
Do you get paid $800 a week after taxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you have any children under the age of 18?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. You're not gonna qualify for the public defender, so I can't appoint them to represent you today. Your bond on count one is $25,000. Count two will be 100 and 100 on count three. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Anthony Williams.
Mr. Williams, you're here in 2019 MM 7691AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant for petty theft. And probable cause was already found. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. The judge who signed the warrant gave specific instructions as to your conditions of release. So you're not to return back to that post office at 821 Herndon Avenue, okay? And specifically, you're not to go within 1,000 feet to include the parking lot and any curtilage. That's the area around the post office. No contact with any employees at the post office, at that specific post office, and no contact whatsoever with Mr. Predum,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? You understand all of those conditions?
Yep.
Okay, your bond is set at $250. All right, come forward, please, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Rashawn Khan.
Okay, do we know what happened to Spencer Johnson? Sure, it's 19027940, bonded? Okay. We'll take no action on him. Okay. No action on Rodriguez.
And Mr. Thomas Burns.
Okay.
Colson bonded also.
Okay. Okay, and then, can you tell me your name again, sir?
Rashawn Khan.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Khan, you're here in 2019 MM 7830AO. You were arrested for resisting an officer without violence. Is this the updated face sheet? I just want to make sure, I don't have anything on it. I don't know if there was one. No? Okay. All right, thank you. All right, and was there an offer if he wanted to resolve his case? No.
There's not, Your Honor.
Okay. So, I'm ordering that you're not to go back to 8126 International Drive, the Mangoes Cafe, have any contact with any witnesses in the case, and you do qualify for pretrial release. So I'm gonna order you into pretrial release. Okay? Make sure you follow those requirements that they advise you of.
Your Honor, his car is still at the location, the Mangoes Cafe. So what's the approach that we can ensure that he doesn't violate the no return?
Well,
Can he do a one time to retrieve his car?
that's fine, and so we'll do one time,
Thank you, Your
is
Honor.
the vehicle in the parking lot?
Yes, it is. sir.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, one-time return to go get the vehicle. And Ms. Nunez bonded out. All right, please tell me your name, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Deshaun Roberts.
All right, Mr. Roberts, you're here in 2019 MM 7827AO. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the PD. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. It was for Mr. Roberts, withhold adjudication, credit time served. One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client accepts the offer, no contest, withhold adjudication, credit time served, and of court costs.
Okay, I won't take any action on his out on bond case, but, and I don't know if there's any upcoming court dates yet. So just make sure when there are that you don't miss your court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Roberts, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
With the two initials, ma'am?
I don't know, it's a squiggle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I promise it's the same plea form that they walked from there to here. All right. And did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by September 23rd, 2020, okay? If If you'd like
Yes,
to
ma'am.
appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck. Come on up. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Janine M. Scaliani.
All right, Ms. Galliani, you're here in 2019 MM 7824AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer, Mr. Scholl?
Yes, Your Honor. It was adjudication guilty, credit time served, no return, and court costs. Just one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, she accepts the offer. Please no contest. Adjudication guilty, credit time served, no return.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, ma'am, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am,
All
it
right,
is.
do you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, Ms.
Do you,
Fish.
do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, I do.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am,
All
I'm
right,
not.
you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I'm an American citizen.
All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to the 7-Eleven at 938 West Colonial Drive. You've been trespassed, okay? If you go back, probably get arrested again, all right? So, and I also have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by, September 23rd, 2020, okay?
Okay, thank you.
If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge Fish. Have a great day.
You too.
Bill Singletary refused.
Okay, so Mr. Singletary has refused to come to court. I'm gonna find that to be a waiver in 2019 MM 7825AO. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent him. Do you wanna waive his appearance formally, Mr. Scholl?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, he's charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. And, I did appoint the PD, and his bond will be set at the $500, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. He's out on bond in 2019 CF 8738AO and 2019 CF 6655AO. I'm revoking those and setting those at none, and looks like he does have an attorney in the cases, correct? And they can file any motions for bond with him. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna find that he cannot behave himself to come to court, that is a waiver based on his own behavior. In 2019 MM 7831AO, he's charged with trespass on property after warning. I'm appointing the public defender. Do you want to waive his appearance formally, Mr. Scholl?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I do find probable cause for trespass on property after warning. And he's not to return back to the Circle K at 3100 Aloma Avenue and abide by all trespass warnings, no contact with any victims or witnesses, and the bond will stay set at 500. Sedino. All right. We'll reset him. Admin PTR, okay. And then Sakar, is that mental health? Yes. Okay. And then we'll reset Mr. Sakar.